Maybe they're the same person. Both four letters start with D. In the top position, we have Dewalt as the blue Protoss. And that is 12 o'clock. And in the bottom left, we have the purple Zerg NeMu. NeMu. And reset score. Oh. Oh, I missed the joke. See, your joke did not work very well because I mispronounce names so often that I don't even remember the times I do, so I didn't get the reference. Haha. Alright, so, got some PVZ. We are, certainly getting the gambit here at this point. Getting PvP, then a little TVZ, now some PVZ. Good spread of races so far. Eastern Europe is chock full of the Zergs, so we'll expect to see some more Zerg matches coming out of them. I know their other players are... I'm not trying to remember the lineup. I know they have Injo next and Technics last. And Injo's Protoss? No, he's a race picker. He's a race picker of Protoss and Zerg. And then Technics is Zerg. And I can't remember who the Russian players are. Although they do not have a lot of Zergs. Alright, so... This is a bad wall. Like, this is a really bad wall. That cannon is not protected at all. If he puts the gateway here, it's not tight at the top. I'm pretty sure it's not tight at the top. Gateways usually are not tight at the top. With anything. Alright, and here come the Lings. Why are you standing in the cannon firing range? Okay. So 2 Lings get through. Should have been 3. Absolutely should have been 3, but 2 Lings get through. And now the probes are going to try to tickle the Lings to death, but it's going to cost them some probes before that happens. Both of them around half health. One a little bit higher, one a little bit lower. Now at half health. Ooh. Ooh, that third position. That is the most ridiculously aggressive third you can get. Like, it is literally halfway. You cannot attack the natural without steamrolling this base. It is... You will just accidentally do it. So NeMu needs to be really aggressive here. If he doesn't, that base is gone. You can't even SimCity this. You can't SimCity that correctly. Not in a good way at all. So yeah, NeMu definitely needs to get a lot of Hydralisks out to keep Dewalt on the back foot here. Interesting decision, as we have a lair coming up. Alright, so this probe is going to discover the space. Dewalt should get kind of scared right now. Should probably be a little bit scared. Man, I'm almost tempted to say that given how, I don't want to say this. Given how much of a tease this base is, given how much Dewalt would want to attack this base, I almost think if NeMu doesn't play super aggressively, he could get away just hyper defending this base. Not defending his natural very much, but just putting all of his defenses here. And then Dewalt won't come around. Because you could walk around this base if you wanted to. But he might just be so blinded by how tempting this base is. Not that we're going to get to that stage of the game, because this base was so ridiculously greedy, and then he went for lair. I don't understand. Ooh, fast lurkers, though. Okay. I assumed it was for a Spire, but instead, his lurker upgrade will be coming up pretty soon here. And we're going to have one Hydralisk try to shoo away the Zealots a little bit here. Just trying to buy time. But really, can he buy time long enough for a lurker to get out? Lurker won't be here for quite a while. And there go all the lings once again. These Zealots still have a lot of health on them. But he's stalling. That's all he needs to do. Just stall, stall. A couple more Hydras coming in. Looks like the drones are getting in here. It's probably going to cost... No, the drones are not being targeted. So the drones will live for now. Well, no, they won't. Nothing's going to pick them off. And the Spire's even almost done. And he does morph those lurker eggs within vision range of the Zealot before it dies. Alright. Alright. Base lives. He managed to live long enough. And the lurkers will be done by the time that Dewalt could get any other units here. Alright, Templar Archive's coming, and the first Corsair is out. Alright. Well, it looks like the very fast lurkers are not going to be used in a defensive way, going to be used in a very offensive way. Not burrowing them in the right spot is bad. Alright, but now he's got them in the correct spots, and he can start wailing away on the gateway. Taking down the preliminary defenses could help with a Hydralisk bust. Ooh. But here come the Mutalisks. Interesting. A very quick lurker to pin the opponent back, and then right into Mutalisks. It's kind of like what Bakuryu does, but just not as safe. Bakuryu goes for a surprise heavy Mutalisk transition, but he does it after he gets 4 bases, after he has a lot of Hydralisks on the field, after he has a Sim City. NeMu just like, lurkers are freaking invincible. He won't have an observatory. Let's go. And it's working. It is certainly working. Not going after the Nexus? Are they going after the Cybercore? I don't think that's the best building to be going after here. Like, killing off the Robo facility so we can't get observers. Pretty good. No more Corsairs. Okay, looks like he didn't want to stop the Corsairs. Pretty good. Killing Templar Archives always good. Nexus would be something really nice to kill. But the Cybercore might be the least important. I guess the Citadel would be the least important thing. But, oh, Archon. Archon! Stop getting hit! Wow, NeMu is fearless. He is not declumping his Mutalisks at all to combat the Corsairs. He is treading a fine line between getting hit by that Archon and not. And, takes a shot, but it's only on a couple of fringe ones there. Not the bigger stack, but just look at that. That's what happens when you play aggressive against Corsairs. And it's like, yeah, he has 10 Mutalisks, but 8 of them are going to die in one Archon hit. Alright. Hydralisk speed on the way. And, oh, they're still all very low health. They are still low health. Okay, NeMu. NeMu. We got too aggressive there. We were too aggressive. Evolution Chamber coming up. He's not even putting it on the SimCity side. He's putting it in the back here. Interesting. I mean, obviously, keeping Evolution Chambers alive is nice. You got your upgrades still going, but... Man, it's really nice to have that in SimCity. And if he just wants to absolutely be sure it doesn't die, I wouldn't put it at that base. I'd put it back in the main. Alright. So, 2 DTs along with the pack of Corsairs moving out, going in for a little drop. Very easy to go for these kind of drops on this map, just because the main is so stupidly big that there's no way Overlord could cover every direction and every spot in the main. Oh, there goes the gateway. He can reposition. I don't know if he can reposition to get the forge. Maybe he can. Oh, there is not an Overlord. Researching drop, but he should be researching building an Overlord. Not bad reaction. Not bad reaction on getting the drones out of there. Overlord's speed is already done. They're going after the Spire, but the Spire is not terribly important right now. Not only that, it looks like it's going to live. I mean, Spire's not a bad target by any means. It's an expensive building, and you're going to stop Scourge production. Along with Mutalisks, if NeMu still wanted to go in that direction, but not the worst loss for NeMu. Not the worst loss. That could have been a lot worse. The first set was won by Degem. Degem over Wallace. Alright. Hydralisks moving in. Along with the Mutalisks, the Lurkers are still hanging back, but is that too many cannons? The Templar does not have enough energy for a storm, assuming that it's researched. And man, NeMu is just going all out against this. There's not a big wall. There's not a whole lot of units in the back to defend against this. Oh boy, we have drones dying. Drones dying to what? Storm drop? I don't know. I guess it was a storm drop. But Dewalt's still being attacked in the front here. He does not have very many cannons left, but it might just be enough. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. That's a lot of Hydralisks coming in. Hydralisks are pretty good at killing cannons quickly, but that's a great storm. Absolutely amazing storm. Going to keep Dewalt in this for a while longer. Another good storm hitting 2 Lurkers. Oh, but there's so many Hydralisks. So many Hydralisks. Lurker repositioning, trying to get into a position to hit probes. And now going for Templar snipes. Templars are going to go down. Oh, so many probes lost here. We are going blow for blow right now, but I think NeMu's punch is going to be a little bit stronger here. As Dewalt is losing more at his base and only has 2 bases, so this is half of his economy gone at this point. Alright, Zealots moving forward. The Zealots have got to break out of this, but they cannot. GG! And NeMu takes game 1? Wow. Looking at the possible games, looking at the possible, not the possible games, but looking at the games we have, NeMu versus Dewalt, probably the worst matchup for Eastern Europe. And Eastern Europe needs NeMu to win. They absolutely need NeMu to win here. Alright, let's go. Alright. So, moving into the next game. On the right side, as the teal Protoss, we have NeMu. No, it's not a Protoss player. That is a Zerg player. Excuse me. Alright, a little bit too distracted by my overlays to notice what race people are, but that's fine. That's fine. It's not like knowing the race is important for setting up these overlays anyway. Not at all. How much people? Oh. Okay, yeah, he's asking for a 2-player map. He wants to know where Dewalt is? Left? Right? I mean, probably should have been able to figure that out. Like, clearly it's not a square map. Like, there are boundaries here. So since it's not a perfect square map, that means it's a 2-player map. If you're spawning on this side, it's not like one of the spawns is here, one of the spawns is up top right, and then we just have emptiness on the left side of the map. What do you think this is, Rite of the Valkyries? Alright. So, Dewalt picked Chain Reaction. Why did Dewalt pick Chain Reaction? Actually, NeMu's style is unhindered on this map. Normally, Zergs have a tough time. Because you can't get a safe 3rd and 4th. Your 3rd and 4th have to be separated and you have to put up bad SimCities at them. But NeMu, on a map where he could have had a really safe 3rd and 4th and put up good SimCities, decided not to. And was just going to have a ridiculously aggressive expansion. So he can play exactly the same way he did last game on this map, and it's going to work out a little bit better, because Mutalisks are better on this map than they are on Outlier. Not much. It's similar, but a little bit better. So, it leads me to believe that Dewalt isn't picking to stop NeMu, he's picking because he has something specific for this map. He wants to do something here. Just don't know what it is yet. Okay. So, if you're perfectly honest, I really like NeMu's gameplay. I haven't seen a style quite like that before. But then again, he's a Bulgarian Zerg, so Bulgarian Zergs always bust out something a little bit offbeat. And I like that. I'm a fan of the country, and specifically their Zerg players. But I think it's really strong. If you can shut down the opponent early with lurkers, because Protosses tend to be very greedy about their observer timings. They want to not get observers until they actually see a lurker. But if you can pin them down with lurkers, then transition into Mutalisks, you're attacking them from 2 different angles. You can just be... You have all the map control in the world at that point. Very early. Alright. So this wall is not tight. It's certainly tight here, but I don't think it's tight up top. And certainly not tight between the pylon and the forge. So the Lings could run in. And that is more than 6. It was 8, now 7. But I don't think it's going to quite be enough. Even if there are multiple entries into the base. And yeah, with 1 Zealot out, that's too much. Too much. Can you get surround? 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 Oh! No, he didn't go for the surround quite in the right way. Shame. Shame. Alright. So, NeMu is going to be switching up his style. It's still going to be a style that involves taking the 3rd, a relatively unsafe 3rd, And but he's going to be reinforcing it with Hydralisks, it looks like. 5... Wow, that's 5 hatch before gas. That's not seen that often. The 5 hatch before gas. Okay. So yes, we are going to be very greedy here. We are going to have ridiculously high amounts of larva, and we are going to overwhelm the opponent. Not quite as quick as the 3 hatch Hydra Bust, but certainly a lot more powerful. Game is super hype about 5 hatch into 2 gas. It's a pretty cheesy build to be hype about, but okay. It's fine. Oh. Yo, I didn't even notice the link. I'm going to assume it's a malicious link and will give you computer aids, but at the same time, I don't know. I didn't actually click the link myself. So I'm going to give Spambot the benefit of the doubt. Somebody else is not going to give Spambot the benefit of the doubt, though. Alright. So, we now have a Hydra stand, and we're getting the lair. So it's not going to be completely Hydralisks. Obviously, you can't be making lair units off of 5 hatcheries. That's too much. There's too much of a strain on the gas. But what it does mean is that you can start to complement it with some lurkers thrown in. Unless it's for a ridiculously strong drop. Like the scariest drop I have ever seen. A true Doom drop. That's overused a lot of time when Zergs have like 3 Overlords and people say, oh, it's a Doom drop, but no. If you went drop off of 5 hatch before gas, that would truly be a Doom drop. Alright. A little bit of micro, and it's going to keep one of the Zealots alive. All the Zealots are very injured, so good micro to make that happen. What do we have? We have a Spire. Okay. So NeMu's not being aggressive? Okay. We're 1 Evo chamber short of... Oh, no, we have an Evo chamber. Okay. We have exactly the same buildings we would expect to be having right now as a Zerg player. We have 5 hatcheries, we have a lair, we have a spire, we have a Hydralisk den, and we have an Evo chamber. And a spawning pool. He just did it completely out of order. Instead of going lair into spire, into den, into hatcheries 4 and 5, he went hatcheries 4 and 5, into lair, into Hydralisk den, into spire. Huh. Weird. Weird. I don't know what's gonna... What does it really get him? I mean, he was able to put a little bit of extra larva towards lengths. So I guess for all of that... For all of that shenanigans about going 5 hatch lair before gas. No, 5 hatch lair before gas. 5 hatch before gas. The net result is these lings and these lings. But it's all that has changed right now. Will those lings be effective? We'll see. Mutalisk coming in. This needs to be cancelled. This is not going to get cancelled, and a lot of the things are going to get picked off. But the Nexus does remain. Nexus does remain. Would have been cheaper to just cancel everything, rather than losing 3 cannons and pylon. Maybe he was cancelling those at the last minute. Oh, going in. NeMu's shown he is not afraid of Corsairs. He will kill them. Or dance under the magical halo of Corsair death. That's cool too. Oh boy, that is not very well defended against Mutalisks. There are some Corsairs here. Oh, Archon not getting the hit off. Alright, just looking at that Mutalisk Cloud though, you can tank some shots at Corsairs. They do not do very much damage quickly. But you gotta start to get into the danger zone. We're in an uncomfortable... Okay, now we are definitely beyond the danger zone. Now we are in the death zone. Nope. Overlord not quick enough, not able to pick off those DTs. There we go. So, no. I was thinking for a second that I was gonna get unpowered, but now that power close enough. Alright. So, I don't know. NeMu's able to get up to 4 bases. And he had to deal with a little bit of early Zealot aggression, but it was like a pre-speed timing. And Dewalt committed so much to it, he can't do it speed timing. And oh, man. Okay. Like, I understand that Zerg players tend to be a little bit overcautious around Corsairs. But that's why they're overcautious against Corsairs. Because if you can go in like once against the Corsairs. You can go and try to blow them up once. And after that first time, you have to stop. You just have to stop doing that, and you have to respect them because your health is too low. Lots of Corsairs coming in, going to kill off the Overlord. Not that it makes a huge difference because there's a Spore Colony here, but... Not that the Spore Colony even makes a huge difference, because the DT does not need to be invisible to take out this base. Alright, here comes the Scourge, and the Corsairs are not moving. Man, that Corsair. He's flying around with all of his friends. He's got like 7 Corsairs just all bunched up, and then all of a sudden everyone died. Wow. That was a pretty good storm. And here come the Lurkers. This time there are not a whole lot of cannons. There are only a couple. And I would not be surprised. Oh, man! How often do you see a storm that hits 7 Lurkers? But it's not going to well, it's going to help. It's certainly going to help against this. The DT is going to accidentally die, it looks like. Not quite. Not quite. Survives with 2 health. That's all it's dead. The cannons are gone. There is no detection. Lurkers coming in. The cannon. Oh, gotta stay away from the cannon. Don't know if this DT is actually in vision range of the cannon. Probably not, since nothing's reacting. Oh, well, thinking about it. Thinking about it, but deciding not to. And this wall is going down. If NeMu, he certainly has the gateway count. He lost this base up here, which is unfortunate. But he has the gateway count, the hatchery count, to just produce a lot of Hydralisks. Alright. So, Lurkers, not known to be very good at taking out buildings, but will get this Nexus down, along with a little help from Lings here. Putting Dewalt on 2 bases. So we were 4 versus 3, now we're 3 versus 2. Oh, but we have an Observer out now. So all these Lurkers will finally get taken out. And the Nexus immediately rebuilt. We do have the hatchery also being rebuilt, so the players will be back to 4 versus 5, and ooh, NeMu. NeMu, a relatively quick hive, considering the matchup. PvZ, usually the Hive gets delayed a very long time just because of how effective Lurker Hydra Ling can be. But no, we are going to get our Ultralisks now. Interesting. Alright, so clearly Crack is done. +2 armor's on the way for the Ultralisks. Do we actually have any Ultralisks? Ultra? No, no Ultras. No Ultras. No Ultras, okay. So, no Ultralisks yet. Just a lot of Lings. He does not have the gas either for it. He's only working off 3 gas right now, right? Yeah, only 3 gas. That's enough for Ultralisks, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Dewalt, that's a pretty scary army, but Zerg's already up at 140, and that's a very scary number for Zerg to be at. You just have to be very careful with this army as Dewalt, because Zerg can remake the 140 very quickly. You cannot. And, oh, love it. I love Zerg players doing this. Send a control group of Lings at a base, hope that good things happen. And guess what? Good things happened. You just took out all the cannons. More than paid for the Lings. And you still have Lings here, you can come in later. Because Dewalt was too lazy to act. Okay, there we go. Wait, are these all? Oh, these are on hold position. I was gonna say, if both those zealots were injured, he might have been able to just win that fight. Oh, coming back in. Getting another probe. Oh, so nice. So nice. Alright. Dewalt, awkward position for Dewalt. He can attack any base he wants to. He could go for any one of them. The issue is, it just puts him in a bad position no matter which one he goes for. And, ooh, Storm. Oh, that could have been such a better Storm. That was a little bit better. Okay, that was a lot better. Storm 9 kills. 9 Ling kills, that's not bad. Ultralist thinking about going down? Thinking about it, then backing off. Then backing off. Unfortunately, we have no Defilers. Defilers would be quite nice versus these goons. Would be nice, but instead we're just going to use our Ultralisks. They have 5 armor. 4 armor upgrade, but 5 total armor. And the Dragoons are going to be forced back. Ooh, NeMu. NeMu being a little bit sneaky there, using some lurkers to interrupt the retreat. And now NeMu should be able to kill off this base once again. Which he really needs to do. 4 base versus 3 base is kind of okay for Zerg. But 4 base versus 4 base is terrible for Zerg. You do not want to be in that position. So, got to try to take out one of these bases if you have the opportunity. But these Dragoons are just a little bit too strong, considering that there's no Defiler support. Ah, man. Man. Alright. Okay. So, Dewalt has some great storms this game. He really has. Saving his own life earlier, now using storms to take out a huge number of lurkers here. Trying to take out the Archons, and Dewalt just leaves the game? Really? Like, he was going to lose this one base, but that puts it back to 4 versus 3. He might be mined out in the main. It might have been 4 versus 2, but that's not that bad of a position for Dewalt. Man. NeMu is on my freaking radar now. I love the playstyle, and being able to upset Dewalt like that, clutching it out for your team. Eastern Europe up 2-1. Very nice.